Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream today. Welcome to our live Q&A session where I am jumping on the call with you and answering some of the questions you have as we prepare ourselves to begin our discussion for the July 2025 examination. Our orientation session is going to be on Sunday with our live lectures starting on Monday for the July 2025 examination. And it promises to be a great 12-week that we are going to be running, making sure that we go through the syllabus, having the various discussions that we need to have to assist you to be able to go into the exam hall, write the exam with confidence, and most importantly, pass the examination. Now, remember that our new book on management accounting is now available. You can get a copy of the management accounting book for the ICAG examination. Now, this is a book that has been in the making for some time now, and I'm really excited that finally we can get it for you so that you can use to prepare for your examination. One thing you must understand is that this book is a complete on its own. What it means is that we took time to go through everything that you need to understand when it comes to the ICAG examination, and most importantly, packed it with some practice questions under almost each topic to help you to not just read, not just solve a simple question, but more advanced and complex questions are also presented in the book. So you can get a copy of the management accounting book. You can call or WhatsApp the number on the screen, and we'll be able to provide you with the guidelines that you need so that you can get a copy of this book as well. Then we have the financial management book also available. Also a new release that has been brought for the new ICAG syllabus. Also available. This is altered by our financial management lecturer here at the Nhyira Premium organization, and you're going to love it. Also practice based with a lot of questions in it to help you to be able to not just again read theories, but also look at how questions are going to be set and how you approach the questions. And these books are going to be really something that you will need if you are writing any of these subjects to put yourself in the position to pass the examination. We also have all of our other books available: financial reporting, public sector accounting and finance, corporate reporting, advanced audit and assurance, strategic case study, advanced taxation. We have all these books also available. So any of the books that you are looking for, you can send us a message on WhatsApp or call the number 05011499296. You can see below your screen the number there to be able to call. And that is what you need to do to be able to get copies of our books. Remember, as I said, our live lectures are starting on Monday. We'll be starting on Monday, and we are going to be going in for 12 weeks, guiding you, providing you with the blueprint that you need. If you have not completed your enrollment yet, you can head on to our website, nhyirapremium.com, and complete your enrollment. Or you can send us a message on WhatsApp, 05011499296, for any inquiry, our timetable, and everything. The good thing is that enrolling to study under my mentorship means that you are getting access to lecture videos on all of the things that you need to understand. One of the beautiful things about our platform is the summary videos on all of the topics or topical areas that you need to understand in the subjects in our mobile application. So on the Nhyira Premium mobile application, once you purchase your course, you get summary videos explaining the key principles, concepts that underline each of the major topics. What it means is that you're able to spend minimal amount of time to go through the syllabus, understand the fundamental principles very well, so that you can now expose yourself to questions. In addition to that, you also get access to our complete lecture videos for the main lectures available that you can get access to study, and you get access to join our live lectures where you are going to be mentored, be guided, and be provided with the assistance that you need to be able to pass the examination. Then you also join our 2 weeks executive revision masterclass, which is exclusive for our students. We don't do intervention. Our executive revision masterclass is exclusive to our students, and we are going to be holding your hand, providing you with the blueprint that you need so you can go into the exam hall, write the exam with confidence, and most importantly, pass the examination. listen, we understand how this journey works. We know what it takes for you to be able to prepare, go into the exam hall, write the exam, and pass the examination. And that is why we want to assist you. So head on to our website, nhyirapremium.com. You can check the description of this video, the first link there. You can click on that link. It will take you to our website, or you can call us 050-114-9296, and you'll be guided to be able to complete your enrollment for your class, and you can join us on the stream as well as on our live lectures. So live Q&A session, there are a couple of questions that we have received that we are going to be answering, and also questions that you have for me. So if there are any questions you have, anything at all that you want to pick my brain on it, please put it in the comments or the chat box for me, and I'm going to be providing you with answers. Also, remember to share the video so we can reach as many students as possible. I'm going to be providing you with some practical blueprints that will guide you to go into the exam hall, write the exam. Remember, as I say always, it is important what you do before the examination. Many a times, many people are just thinking about what they are going to do in the exam hall. But it is important you understand that it is not about what you do in the exam hall, it's about what you do before the exam. And there are a couple of strategies that I'm going to be providing you with today as we go through some of the questions that I'll be receiving on the stream, as well as that I have, that will provide you with the guidelines that you need in order for you to really put yourself in the position to pass the examination for that. So let me quickly see if I can bring up some of the questions here. Seeing a question coming up here. Let's see if I can look at that. Then we can get excited. As I said, any questions you have for me, something you want to pick my brain on, don't hesitate. Put it in the comment section or the chat box for me. I'm going to be providing with the answers that you need so you can put yourself in the position to pass the examination. So let's see. Fanika Coyote said, hello, boss. Can I get materials or videos for management case study of CIMA? We don't have specific videos for CIMA or available. The individual subjects issues there for management accounting, advanced financial reporting, and also the issue in respect of performance, whatever. What's the third subject? I've even forgotten the third subject. Yeah, managing performance. The strategy is this. So let me just talk you through this generally. The case study examination, that is the management case study examination. You know this already, that it is bringing together the things that you learn in the three subjects. So the things you learned in advanced financial reporting, okay? In advanced financial reporting, what you learned in the management accounting, so managing performance, okay, the second one, and then the third one is advanced management accounting. All right. So the exam, the management case study examination, is made up of these three things. So your goal should not be just, okay, I want to look at the management case study. Yes, you want to look at some case studies in the past questions and refer to it. But your goal should be, have I built my strength on the advanced financial reporting? Am I strong on the key topics in managing performance? Have I built my strength in management accounting? In other words, what you should be interested in is, what are the key areas in each of these subjects that will feature in the management case study examination? So yes, look at management case study, but you need to understand that these three subjects are knitted to the management case study examination. So the accounting standards, pretty important. Issues about managing performance, leadership, and all of those things. Management accounting, very important. So the key topics in each of these subjects that find themselves, right, in management case study are the things that you have to optimize on to increase the chances of passing the management case study examination. Because you see, at the end of the day, it is not about management case study. It is about your understanding of these individual subjects, because it's the bringing together of these individual subjects. So I will recommend that, yes, in as much as you are going to be trying to get practice questions and everything on management case study, you want to find out how strong you are in these individual subjects, which topics in these individual subjects actually link to the management case study. Then you can optimize your chances of passing the examination from these areas, because that is how you can pass the exam. So that is what I would say there. In that case, we don't have specific videos on management case study, but you can get videos on our channel for free on the individual topics, some of the individual topics in these areas, to put you in the position to go into the exam hall and write the examination. So that is what I would say there for you, Fanika Kayode, for your CIMA management case study examination. I see some of you guys joining. Any questions, you put it in the comment section for me, and I'm going to be getting excited to answer them for you. Samuel Ashon, hello, sir. Please, how best can I combine the courses and study for ICA level 2? Okay. So ICA level 2, I don't know, which subjects do you have currently, Samuel? Maybe tell me, which subjects do you have currently in the level 2? Because in the level 2, there are a couple of combinations that we can go for. Option 1 is to do financial reporting and public sector accounting and finance. Option 2 is to do management accounting and then financial management. Option 3 is to do the audit and assurance and the principles of taxation. So I don't know which subject you have in the level 2 left, but this is the way the combination works at the end of the day. So if you have all level 2 or whatever papers you have in level 2, this is how the combination works. Now, the reason why this combination is recommended is because of the fact that when it comes to issue about financial reporting and public sector, there is a key issue there, which is IPSAS in the public sector, and then preparation of financial statements, and then IFRSs in the financial reporting and the preparation of financial statements. And so many of the IPSAS are just IFRSs flipped over, contextualized in the public sector. And so learning them together becomes easier. So if you look at something like IPSAS 16, which is investment property, that is IAS 40. You look at something like IPSAS 12, which is inventories, that is IAS 2, right? You look at something like IPSAS 5, which is borrowing cost, is IAS 23, right? You look at things such as IPSAS 19, that is provisions, it's like IAS 37, provisions, contingent liabilities, contingent assets. You look at something like IPSAS 17, property, plant, and equipment. That is just like IAS 16, property, plant, and equipment. And so a lot of the standards, then we have some exclusives, definitely though. But at the end of the day, a lot of the standards that you are going to be studying are just going to be there. And remember, now the public sector examination, we are going to be having 20 marks question on the IPSAS, that is the International Public Sector Accounting Standards. And so because we are going to be having dedicated 20 marks on the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, it's becomes easier for you to study the standards well, because you are doing the same thing in financial reporting, then you flip it over in public sector, then it makes the learning much easier for you at the end of the day. So that is one of the key reasons why these two go hand in hand when it comes to the combination. Then management accounting and financial management. Now, one thing you must understand also is that there is a lot of public sector issues in management accounting and in financial management. Okay, a lot of public sector issues. So, for instance, in the management accounting, there is a 15-mark question on dealing with the role of the management accountant or applying management accounting techniques in the public sector. That is in management accounting. Then when it comes to financial management, I think there is between 15 or 20 mark question also on public sector related, which covers areas such as public financial management, public procurement, public-private partnership arrangement, the PFA framework, and other things. And so learning the two together helps you in that case that you need to understand. Then another thing also is that in financial management, you have investment appraisal. Now, the way you appraise investment is using the relevant costing principle, which will be something you are going to be learning in your management accounting class. Right? Applying the marginal costing principle to look at which costs are relevant, how to deal with sunk cost, how to deal with overheads in appraising projects. And so the knowledge that you have, what you learn in management accounting, can equally help you in dealing with the topic investment appraisal in financial management. And so that is why taking management accounting and financial management together also is a good combination there. Then the other two, AAA and tax, they really don't have anything that in common. I mean, they are just on their own in that case. So subject combination so that you can study to optimize your chances of passing the examination when it comes to the level 2. This is the breakdown, and this is what you need to understand. So Samuel Ansong, I don't know if I mentioned your name right. That is what you must understand when it comes to the subject combination. Now, let me extend this a little bit to talk about the issues. I always say this, that it is important you register for the papers that you can write. Okay, I understand that, and this is one of the things that we are going to be addressing. So let me bring it up quickly, because one of the questions that I have here is how do I stay motivated and avoid burnout during the study process? Okay, how do you stay motivated and avoid burnout? Okay, and avoid burnout. Because you see, there is a lot on you when you are studying for the ICA, right? You work, so you go to work, your personal life, right? You have other responsibilities you have to undertake. Then you need to study also, because you have to advance yourself to pass the examination. And so how do you stay motivated and, avoid burnout during the study process? The way you stay motivated is, number one, and avoid burnout is, number one, let's be realistic. Okay, we got to be realistic. Now, when I say be realistic, what exactly do I mean by that? What I mean by be realistic simply is that sit down and look at your schedule for the next 12 weeks. We're going to be running 12 weeks for the exam. Look at your schedule for the next 12 weeks. How much time do you have available to make it, to be able to study? You got to be realistic. Because, sometimes the reason why people become demotivated, become overwhelmed, and burn out is because you are writing or trying to write a lot of papers than you have the capacity to write. Because, yes, maybe you have a goal and say, hey, I want to become a chartered accountant by July. Hey, by the end of this year, I have to finish this ICA and go on to something else. Yes, it's a good vision you have. It's a good mission you have. But that doesn't mean you have to write papers than you are supposed to write. Because this is my strategy. It is better to write one subject, okay, one paper, and pass it each examination date. Just one paper and pass. Rather than put 4 papers up. Okay? Put 4 papers up and go fail all the 4 papers. So, number 1, for you to stay motivated and avoid burnout, we have to be realistic. Listen, don't take a lot on if you don't have the time available. If it is 1 paper you can write, prepare well for it and go and write. I understand your vision. I understand your mission. I understand your aspiration. Yeah, they say dream as big as the ocean. Yeah. I understand you. But we have to be realistic. And ask yourself, okay, the 4 papers you want to write, the 5 papers you want to write, the 3 papers you want to write, would you have the time to study? Otherwise, by the time we reach week 7, you are overwhelmed. You are burned out. You are tired. You feel like giving up. But because you have already committed 7 weeks into each of the subjects, your brain is going to tell you, don't give up. Keep going. You can do it. By the grace of God, you'll pass the exam. And that is something that people struggle with a lot. And it doesn't apply to only studying. It applies to all aspects of life. There are people who are in a relationship, right? And they can see that this relationship is a prison. It's not doing well. But they are like, oh, I've been with this person for all these years, 3 years, 4 years. I can't leave. Bro, you are burning out. You are dying. Leave the hell out. And that is what I want you to understand. Be realistic. We have 12 weeks to go. You are working. You have friends. If for those of you who have married, your story is different. You have children. You have other responsibilities. How much time can you have to study? Let's be realistic. Don't make it complicated. How much time can you have? That's the first thing I want you to do. So based on that realism, my take is write maybe 1 or 2 papers. Okay? For most of you, just 1 or 2 papers is okay. Just 1 or 2 papers. Don't complicate the issue. That's the best practice. Maybe 1 paper or 2. 2. That's okay. Yes, again, like I said, your brain is, hey, I have to finish this ICA by July. Oh, Charlie, finish this. Yeah, it's good to have that dream. But what if you don't have the time to study? And you become demotivated. You are burnt out. You pick the book and you're like, hey, how can I study? Hey, you pick financial reporting. Hey, Eradi Yesu Christo, when will I finish learning this? Then you pick financial management. The same thing. Hey, Eradi. Then you pick management accounting. Hey, look at Nhyira. He has written this management accounting book. Look at the big book. When can I finish this? Yeah. So when can you finish? Do you have the time to finish all this in the next 12 weeks? We have to be realistic. And then maybe write 1 or 2 papers. Listen, it's better to prepare for just 2 papers. Well, go into the exam and write it. Rather than try to do 4 papers, 3 papers, 5 papers. People can pull it up. Maybe not you. Especially if you have a lot on your plate. So, how do you stay motivated and avoid burnout during the study process? Be realistic. Write 1 or 2 papers. That's it. That's okay. 1 or 2 papers. That's okay. That's okay. Listen, it's better to write 1 paper and pass and go. That way you are building momentum. 2 papers, you write it, then you pass. You are building momentum than spreading your energy on 4 papers, on 3 papers, on 5 papers, and going to bomb everything. And that is what you need to understand. And so 99.9% of the time when students reach out and they tell me, hey, sure, I'm going to write, 4 papers. I'm like, bro, what the heck? Like, do you have the time available? Because you have to be realistic. And 99.9% of the time, I have to talk them out to prepare for 2 papers. Yeah, because the more papers you register, the more money I get, right? But it's not just about the money. We have to be realistic. Do you have the time to study all those papers? If you don't have the time, then keep the money. Let's be realistic. Let's help you build the momentum that you need. Go into the exam hall and write the exam and pass the examination. That's my goal. That's my mission. That's what excites me. So 99.9% of the time, I have to talk students out of sitting for more papers so that they are realistic enough, and all the time they come back and say, yeah, Nhyira, you were right on that. Even the 2 papers that I'm taking, the workload is much. Thank you for that advice. Because that is the reality. Yeah, the more papers you register, the more money we make. But what is the purpose of making the money when you go and fail all the papers and you become discouraged and you don't want to go again? So we got to be realistic. Now, that doesn't also mean that if you sit for 1 paper or 2 papers, you're going to pass all of them. That is why I said be realistic. Number 3, it means that you need to create some time to study, okay? Got to create some time to study. When I say create time to study, this is time for your own self to study. And again, be realistic about it, okay? You can't say, Nhyira, and I've had people telling me this all the time. Nhyira, I'm busy, it's only the live lectures that helps me, Charlie. When I join the live lecture, I'm on the call like that. That's how I'm able to learn. I'm not able to do anything else. And I tell them all the time, 99.9% of the time, you are going to go and fail the exam. Because the live lectures alone, which you are not also active, because whilst the lecture is ongoing, you are with your phone doing something else. You are walking around in the background, jumping and doing something else. So you're not even attentive during the live lectures. And so if that is all you are relying on to go and write the exam, then 2 weeks to the exam or a week to the exam, you take some miserable leave from your workplace, then you will go and fail the exam. But you need to consciously create some time to study, because you see, many of the burnouts come a week to the exam. And I've seen this, our portal. We look at the back end, the analytics. That's what we see. A week to the exam, this is where you see people, Charlie, traffic, watching they are trying watch. You will burn out. Your brain cannot sustain it. You are going to be tired. That is why for most of you, the week that you write the exam, when you finish writing the exam, you fall sick. Because you are tired. You are burnt out. And then, unlucky for you, the results come, then you are failed as well. So, let's be realistic. Write 1 or 2 papers, but you got to create time to study. That is why I said, to avoid the burnout, spread the study over the 12 weeks. Spread it over the 12 weeks. That is very important. Over the 12 weeks. That is what I need you to understand very well. So you have to spread it over the 12 weeks. Don't wait 2 weeks to the exam before you start being serious. Spread it over the 12. So every week, yes, attend lectures. Don't say you are a shark. You're going to do it on your own. 99.9% of the time, you will fail the exam. So attend lectures. Join our lectures. Get access to our content. Study under my mentorship. Let me assist you. Attend lectures. In addition to the live lectures, you must create time to sit down to study on your own. Watch the summary videos. Watch the full lecture videos. Solve questions. If you have a problem, you send it over. You will be directed. You will be guided. That is how you study. Consistency every week. So by the time we are 2 weeks to the exam or a week to the exam, you have less things to do. There is no pressure on you. So it's not now that you're going to sit down and do kaya, kabo, kaba, kaba. You won't do anything like that. Why? Because you've been studying all this while, and now it is time for cruising. It is time for revision. It is time for relaxation. You wouldn't have to struggle any longer. So create time to study. So how do you stay motivated and avoid burnout during the study process? Be realistic. Spread a thing over 12 weeks, which means write 1 or 2 papers. Don't overload yourself. You know yourself that you are not that brilliant. I don't mean to disrespect you. You know yourself that your memory is not that sharp. So be realistic. And do 1 or 2 papers. Number 3, you got to create time to study. And as I said earlier, make sure you attend lectures, okay? Attend lectures because you'll be guided so that the study process becomes easier. Listen, financial management accounting is not a joke paper. It's a tough paper, I can guarantee you. Financial management is not cheap. It's a challenging paper. But there is a way it becomes easier when you join a community like ours. There is a way it becomes easier when you are guided. So imagine this whole book, right? Broken down into short videos accessible in the Nhyira Premium mobile application. So you don't need to be reading every time. You just plug it in. You've downloaded the videos. You don't need internet again. That's all. You plug it in 8 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes on specific topics. So you understand the principles. Then you pick the book. There are questions inside. Then you start solving the questions. You have any challenge, then you are guided. That is how you stay motivated. That is how you avoid burnout. So that is what I would say for you to stay motivated and avoid burnout. If you are going to pass the exam going into the future, what I want you to look out for is put yourself in the position to spread your learning over the 12-week period. Okay? Just spread it over the 12-week period. I understand you have a vision. Okay? I understand. We all do. But be realistic to the vision. Be realistic. Because, recently I was telling somebody that realistically, I would have wished that people will see the ICAG examination differently. Because there are a lot of people who think the ICAG exam is difficult. But it is just like any exam, CIMA, ACCA. If you can decide and say, hey, I will do just 1 paper, or I'm doing 2 papers, that's level 1. Level 2, you are going to say, hey, in the next 12 weeks, I'm going to remove any unnecessary activity out of my life. My family, my friends, I will communicate with them so that in the next 12 weeks, they should understand that I will not be available as much as I used to be. It is just for the next 12 weeks. That's level 2, removing unnecessary distractions. Then level 3, I'm going to be part of a community like Nhyira Premium's community where I get access to quality lecture videos, high production lecture videos, join live lectures, be guided, be mentored, be part of a community where I am held accountable. Because we will do assignments, we will do performance evaluation tests, and you will be held accountable. If you can do this in the next 12 weeks, you are writing 1 or 2 papers. You are removing every unnecessary things out of your way in the next 12 weeks by communicating with the people around you that, hey, in the next 12 weeks, I will not be available. In the next 12 weeks, please, the birthday parties, let's reduce it. If you are going, you go, but I won't go. And you can discipline yourself, join a community and be held accountable. Listen to me. You can finish this thing in a record time. It's doable. It's possible. Because it is only when you allow yourself to take out distractions, you allow yourself to be held accountable, you allow yourself to be guided and mentored in the manner that you are expected to be guided and mentored, that you can go into the exam or write the exam with confidence and pass the examination. Because most of you, your concern is, Nhyira, I don't have time to study. How many birthday parties do you attend every weekend? How many funerals do you attend every weekend? Listen, the road to the top requires you make some sacrifices. All of the people you want to be like have made some sacrifices. You can't be at birthday parties, funeral, weddings every weekend and expect to be at the top. No. The least you could be is funeral expert, birthday expert, which is not what you want. So you have to make some tough decisions. Again, I am not here to direct you how the heck to live your life. But I want to let you understand, on the altar of success, there must be a sacrifice. My question is, what are you willing to sacrifice in the next 12 weeks? We have to kill this attitude of a week to the exam, taking leave from work, and that 1 week you attend all manner of intervention classes, and you think within that 1 week you can finish financial management and pass the exam. You've been doing that. You have been failing the exam, but you keep doing it. We have to come out of that. So I really want to impress on you today that in the next 12 weeks, you want to take charge of your life. In the next 12 weeks, you want to take responsibility for your life and say, hey, in the next 12 weeks, the birthday parties is okay. The funerals is okay. The hangouts is okay. The drinks with the boys is okay. Let me become a chartered accountant. When I finish, more chilling, more boiling, more birthday parties we will attend. You have to make some sacrifices. That's the only way you can succeed. That's the only way you can succeed. Again, that is the best way to go. Because you can't be doing things anyhow and expect to become a chartered accountant. And I tell people this all the time. You don't have to take 10 years to be a chartered accountant. You don't need 10 years to be a chartered accountant. You need discipline, and you can do it in 2 years. Let's say you are bondelism, so let's give you 3 years. You can do it in 2 years. Heck, you can do it in 1 year. People have done it. I've had people studying under my mentorship, they do it. And it requires sacrifice. Some are married, some are not married, but they're able to do it. Why? Because you have to sacrifice. And some people are not going to be comfortable with it. Some of your friends may start calling you some names. Some family members will start, insulting you anyhow. That is why I said communicate with them. Sit them down and say, hey, listen. My life is important. In the next 12 weeks, I have to become a chartered accountant, or I have to write this exam and pass. Please reduce the birthday parties. You there, if every week birthday party, this time around we'll do it every 4 weeks. All right? And do something. Because that is how you become successful at the end of the day. Okay? That's how you can be successful. So, how do you avoid burnout and stay motivated? Be realistic with yourself. Write 1 or 2 papers. That's the best thing you can do. Create time to study and attend lectures. This is what I would tell anybody going to write the exam. This is what I would tell them. And that is what I am telling you. Okay? So you can pass the examination. All right, I see some other comments coming up. I see some of you guys also joining. Welcome to the stream. If there are any questions, something you want to pick my brain on, please put it in the chat for me. And I'll provide you with some answers at the end of the day. Fanika said, can you help the key topics in each of the subjects, please? Which subject are you talking about? Give me some context there for me. Chuka Onuzu Like. Sorry if I don't mention your name right well, okay? Let me stay with the first name, Chuka. Good evening, sir. My boss, joining from Anambra State, Nigeria. Okay, thank you for joining us from Anambra State. Gideon Agomeda. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Gideon. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Official something. Evening, Nhyira. Wonderful job you are doing. Request to do paper questions live. Thank you. I don't understand. Request to do paper questions live. Thank you. I think you said you are talking about past questions live. Yeah, we'll be doing a couple of that from next week, God willing. We're going to be walking through some of the exams and then the chief examiner's report, answering them together, that kind of thing. So, yes, we'll be doing some of those things this time around. So, stay connected. Cultural Village page, something like that. Good evening, please. I'm on my level 3 papers, and currently my employer is seek evidence that shows I'm done with level 2. Is there a way I can apply for evidence from ICA? Yes, you can request for a transcript from the ICA, from your student dashboard, I think so. So if you log on to the ICA student dashboard, I think you can request for a transcript from the ICAG, and they will give you that. Okay, so from your student dashboard on the student dashboard of the ICAG, when you go there, there should be a place for you to request for a transcript, and you'll be able to request for a transcript for what you have done so far in the past, and then you can use that as evidence or given to your employer as evidence. So Gideon, that is it about that. Let me know if that is helpful for you. Then what else do I have? Genesis said, thanks so much, Nhyira. It's a pleasure, Genesis. Okay, so any other questions? I don't know. Can you check Facebook for me? Okay, so let me look at another question here that I have here. How do I understand the changes to the exam, and what are the most current exam trends? Okay, so let me bring this up quickly. It says, how do I understand the changes to the exam structures, and what are the most current exam trends? Now, it's interesting for us to understand the exam structure for each of the subjects that we are writing generally. Now, the thing about the exam structure will be dependent on the examination that we are writing or the subject that we are writing. But one thing you must understand generally is that the examination is going to require you to think technically and practically. Okay? The requirements of the exam will require you to think technically, okay, and practically. That is why I say that anybody that is passing the ICA examination is passing because they've learned. Okay? Gone are the days where you can sit down, take some miserable leave 2 weeks to the exam, go and do some shabo things, and go into the exam and pass the exam. Those days of ICA examination are over. Those days are over. Now the ICA exam is structured in such a manner that if you have not studied, understood the principles, familiarize yourself with context and structure of questions, you will come home with Zokbo. You come home with Zokbo. And so your best bet is to really study to understand the fundamental principles underlining each of the topics, how the topics knit with each other, and most importantly, the structure of the questions and how the examiner is going to be answering the questions in the exam hall. So the structure of the exam is going to require you to think technically and practically. That's very important for you to understand, because without that, then you're going to fail the examination. And that's the first thing I want you to understand. The second thing that I want you to understand and familiarize yourself with is that The structure of the exam is such that it depends on the objective of the examiner. Again, what does that mean? It means that gone are the days where you can solve some ICA past questions and go to the exam and pass the exam. No. In each examination diet, you are going to see new things. What do I mean by that? Yeah, let's say you are writing financial reporting, right? You will see consolidated financial statements. Yes, you will see some accounting standards. Yes, you will see single entity financial statements. Yes, you will see ratio analysis. Yes, you will see those theory areas. You will see the topics. But the structure of the questions, you've never seen it before. And I tell my student this. 99.9% of the time, the questions you are going to see in the exam hall, you've not seen them or you've never seen them anywhere. So you cannot rise on just past questions. And that is why you have to be careful on past questions. And that is why I tell students all the time this, that yes, look at the ICAG past questions. Look at them. But don't look at them as a precursor for what you are going to see in the exam hall when you go and write. Look at it to understand, the structure, the technicality, the practicality, the chief examiner's comment on each of the questions, what students are doing and all that. Yes, look at that. But don't think because you've solved ICA past questions from 1963 to 2025, you go to the exam and pass the exam. I can guarantee you, you may fail the exam 99.9% of the time. Why? Because you see, the quality of the questions are becoming better in each examination diet. So the structure of the exam for each examination diet depends on the objective of the examiner. And the objective of the examiner always changes. So the objective of the examiner in the March 2025 is different and will be different from the objective of the examiner in July 2025. What the examiner wants to ask students about, examine students on, yes, the topics remains the same. The structure of the exam remains the same, but the quality of the questions, the scope of the questions, the verbs that the examiner is going to be using, the stories that the examiner is going to be testing, the structure and everything, it's going to be different. So you may go to the exam hall. Yeah, last semester, there was a question on IAS 20, government grants. Then you will see another question on IAS 20, government grants. Then you are there and you can't solve it. But you're like, I solved the past questions. Why? It is not about you solving the questions. The examiner is not interested in your ability to have looked at the past questions. The examiner is interested in your ability to understand the topics. So when we take IAS 20, do you understand all the principles, both basic and advanced, under IAS 20? So I tell my student this, in as much as it is good to practice questions, in the exam hall, you are applying principles. And 99.9% of the time, nothing in the past question is going to be repeated. It's going to be new things. So that you are seeing the same topic, but the quality of the question and the perspective the examiner is coming from is different. So if you don't understand the principles underlining the topics, then you are screwed. And that is one of the myth about past questions. And so that is why I keep on telling you, yes, if you are solving questions, don't just look at the past questions. As a matter of fact, you want to go outside the past questions. Go outside the past questions. So you are writing ICAG. Okay, good. Look at the ICAG past questions, November 2024, March 2025, to understand structure. approach of the questions, the verbs the examiner is using, the chief examiner's report, the concerns the chief examiner has raised. Look at them like that. But don't sit down and say, yeah, I'm going to solve November 2024, March 2025 with the idea that I will see something like that in the exam hall. You will be smoking something that will make your head go somewhere else. So you look at the past questions for chief examiner's report, recommendations, what comments the examiner has raised under each of the subjects. Then you go outside the past questions. Go look for some questions outside the past questions. So the question kits. So you can get the ICAG question kits. Very important, because in the question kits, there are different questions there. There are many a times where questions have been lifted from the question kits in the exam hall. Why? Because the question kits are questions that the examiner has not asked about before under specific topics in the past. And remember what I said. I just told you that each examination diet, the examiner is going to be bringing something new. It is the same topic, but it's a new aspect of that topic. So get the ICAG question kits. Number 2, get some ACCA questions or CIMA questions in respect of the subject you are writing, if it is possible to get them. Why? Because sometimes questions are picked from this angle, modified to meet the context and the structure of the ICAG examination. Again, it is subject specific. We've seen this in financial reporting. We've seen it in advanced audit and assurance. We've seen it in corporate reporting and various other things. And so that is why if you are in my class, financial reporting, advanced audit and assurance, corporate reporting, case study, and those things, you see that I'm bringing a lot of questions from this angle. And at times students go to the exam hall and they see a question that we have done in class during a performance evaluation test or during our mock discussion, and they're like, yo, Nhyira, the same question was there, or a modification of the questions, only the figures were there. I'm like, yeah, because it's possible the examiner could do that. So get the ICAG question kit, look at ACCA CIMA questions on those specific topics and look at them. And then you can look at some other, degree, okay? First degree and MBA questions, MBA, MSc, whatever the heck that you people learn these days, PhD and those things, accounting related questions in the universities. Why? Because again, some of the examiners are lecturers in these universities, right? And so some of the questions that they discuss there could be modified and submitted as part of their questions when they are submitting to the ICA. And who knows, if some of those questions are selected as the final set of questions for the exam, boom, then it could come. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that for you to pass the ICA examination, you must understand that the exam requires you to think technically and practically. The objective of the examiner for each examination diet is going to be different. So don't die on past questions. Don't die on the past questions. Yes, look at the past questions, but look at them for the chief examiner's report. Look at them for the verbs that the examiner is using. Look at them for the quality of the questions, the comments that the chief examiner has made under each of the questions. That's all you are doing. That's all you are doing. Then, if you are going to solve questions, if you are going to practice questions, if you are going to challenge yourself as to whether you understand the topics you are learning, look at questions outside the ICA past questions. Why? Because 99.9% of the time, there is nothing in the ICAG past question, November 2024, March 2025, that the examiner is going to be asking you in July 2025 or November 2025. It's not going to happen 99.9% of the time. So get the ICAG question kit. Get some ACCA and CIMA questions. So go outside the ICA past questions and get other questions to look at. Why? Because your passing of the exam is based on the understanding of the principles. Now, when you are looking at the ICAG question kit, looking at some ACCA or CIMA questions, looking at MBA, MSc, or whatever the heck, accounting related PhD questions that relates to what you are studying, it opens you up. You see different perspective of the topic you've studied and the options available that the examiner can ask you questions of. And that is what you must understand when we talk about the examination. And so, what is the exam structure? Yeah, financial reporting, you know the things that are going to be there already. But my key takeaway for you is this, that to pass the exam, it will require you to think technically and practically. To pass the exam, you must understand that the objective of the examiner is different for each examination date. So you cannot die on past questions. You must go outside the ICAG past question, and that is how you put yourself in a position to pass the examination. So that is the answer to that question. Now, as to what are the current trends, there are not much thing I'm going to say really about what the current trends are, because the current trends are just what I have told you about, what the examiner requires of students when it comes to the ICAG examination, that the quality of the questions is no longer the same. This is not 2010. This is not 2011. This is not 2012. This is not 2013, where you can solve some past questions and you are done. This is 2025. You got to be technical. You got to be practical. You got to understand the principles. You need to go into the exam with a different mindset. And that's what you need to understand in respect of that question. I see some other questions coming up, and I see some of you guys joining us. Welcome to the stream. It's a live Q&A session. So if there are any questions you have, something you want to pick my brain on, put it in the comment section for me or the chat box, and I'll be providing you with some answers in that case. Remember that our enrollment is ongoing. Our live lectures will be starting on Monday, 7th April 2025. Our orientation session will be on Sunday. Then Monday, we kickstart our live lectures. You can enroll in a course if you have not already, and visit our website, NhyiraPremium.com. Get access to our summary videos on all of the topics so that you can finish the syllabus in record time. So the summary videos are available and downloadable in the Nhyira Premium mobile application on the iOS store, which is iPhone, or the Android, which is for, the Google Play Store, which is for Android. And you can download the videos. And once you download them, you can watch them over and over again. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes on specific topical areas that will help you to understand the principles. Then you can expose yourself to questions. Then we also have access to, you get access to the complete lecture videos as well, covering each lessons as well. You join our live lectures, studying directly under my mentorship. You are going to be guided. You're going to be held accountable. We're going to do assignments, performance evaluation tests. Your scripts are going to be marked, and you are going to be assisted to put yourself in the position to pass the examination. You will also join our 2 weeks executive revision masterclass. We don't do intervention. So our 2 weeks executive revision masterclass is where we just wind down everything, go through the key issues that we need to go through to put you in the position to pass the examination. So you can visit our website, NhyiraPremium.com, or download the Nhyira Premium mobile application and complete your enrollment, or send us a message on WhatsApp, 050-114-9296. You can see the link there, the link below this video. Our management accounting book is also now available. You can get a copy of the management accounting book. This is very practical because it covers everything in the syllabus with a lot of practice questions to help you to understand everything that you need to understand to put you in the position to pass the examination. Then also our financial management book also available, covering everything based on the new syllabus, the new ICA syllabus, again with a lot of practice questions to put you in the position to really pass the examination. You can get copies of all of these things, all of these, when you send us a message on WhatsApp, and you'll be guided. We have books also available on other subjects: corporate reporting, strategic case study, advanced audit and assurance, financial reporting, and all of the other subjects. There are books available to guide you to pass the examination. So let's see. I think there are some other questions here that I can look at. Nana Pia said, "Hi Nhyira, how can one approach the ICAG examination with a limited question or exam time available, since the exam require critical thinking?" When you say limited question, what do you mean, Nana Pia? And then time available. I don't get the context of your question. I'm trying to see if I can get a context of your question really well. Because when you say limited questions, I don't understand. Number two, when you say exam time available, again, I don't understand. Yes, there is 3 hours available for the exam. Okay? I don't think the questions are limited. That one, I wouldn't agree with that, statement that the questions are limited. I wouldn't agree with that, because you must understand the structure of the examination for any paper that you are writing. If you are writing management accounting, we've gone through this already, the structure and everything. There will be questions coming in from each segment of the syllabus. So there's nothing like limitations. There will be 15-mark question on budgeting. There will be 15-mark question on variance analysis. There will be 15 to 20-mark question on short-term decisions. You're going to be seeing a question, 20 or 30 marks question on theory areas. You're going to see 15-mark question on the management accounting techniques in the public sector. So if you say limited questions available or limited questions, I don't understand the context of your question, because the examiner is not limited. There are topics there, and you have to understand. So what is the approach? The approach is to understand the topics. You must understand the topics. And that is what I said, and I keep on saying that. You don't wait to try to do speed and accuracy and approach in the exam hall. You have to spread everything over 12 weeks. You don't wait to the exam date before you find out, how can I work with speed and accuracy? No. If you spread everything over the 12 weeks, then you'll be able to work on speed and accuracy, your emotions, your breathing technique, and various other strategies that you need to work for. Because in the exam hall, you are just going to be applying what you have done over the 12 weeks. So limited questions, I don't agree with that. Limited time, that also, I don't agree with that, because there's nothing like limited time available. The 3 hours the examiner gives you, that's the time you get. So how do you pass the exam? I've already said this. I've already said it over and over again. Spread your study time over the 12 weeks, number one. Create time to study, number two. Practice questions under time over the 12 weeks period. Because some of you, even punching on the calculator is a problem. And throughout the 12 weeks, you've never punched anything on the calculator. In the exam hall, back home you are punching. So you don't even know where plus is. You don't even know where 7 is. You don't even know where 9 is. So you can't do speed and accuracy. There are some of you, you never write anything until the exam date. And so by the time you get to the exam hall, this is now the time that you are going to be writing on paper. And some of you, you have reached a point where you are not too familiar or too comfortable with writing on paper. So punching, how you write on paper, freely, comfortably, in a very reasonable manner, are all the things that may contribute to you failing the examination at the end of the day. And that is the challenge. So, again, there is nothing like limited question. Number two, there's nothing like limited time. It's you that have to position yourself throughout the 12 weeks and practice questions under time, work on your speed and accuracy, work on your writing techniques, work on your punching techniques, and work yourself out. Because it's like football, right? It is not on the pitch that you are going to rehearse. No, you've been training all week. If you don't come for training, Pep Guardiola is not going to feature you. You're going to sit on the bench for a long time. Even if you are featured in the match and you go and do something that you were not told to do, and we lose the match, you're going to sit on the bench for a long time. So many people try to practice and rehearse at the same time, write the exam in the exam hall. So to avoid that, Nana Apia, to your question, there is no limited questions. There will be questions coming from each segment of the syllabus relating to whichever subject you are writing. So there is no limited question. That one, get it out of your mind. Number two, there is nothing like limited time. That's the time you have available. Nothing can be done about it. So what do you do? What you do is practice. Work on speed and accuracy. Work on your timing. Work on your punching. Study on your own over the 12 weeks because you are doing all of those things. So before you get to the exam hall, your brain has become familiarized with the system, the mechanism of speed and accuracy. Are you getting it? Your brain has become familiarized with it. Oh, speed and accuracy when it comes to punching, you are good. Writing with speed and accuracy, you are good. But if you wait until the exam date, Bako, you are trying to punch with speed and accuracy. Bako, you are trying to write with speed and accuracy. My brother, Sister Ama, you're going to fail the exam. So it is not about what you should do in the exam hall. As I say always, in the exam hall, you are just applying things. So over the 12 weeks, you should have been studying. You should have been working. You should have been doing the things. So when you get to the exam hall, it's just application. 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 Because throughout the 12 weeks, say you are learning under my mentorship, you're going to be guided. That, hey, if you're writing something like management accounting, when you get to the exam hall, take out all the written questions first. Because we know we're going to be having written questions, minimum of 30. If the examiner gets goosebumps like last semester, 47. Written questions, 47. So all these things will be highlighted during the 12 weeks. If you are studying, you'll be identifying all of these things. So when you get to the exam hall, your brain knows that, hey, we are taking out the theories first. So you do that. So in that case, you wouldn't feel limited on time. By the time you start thinking about, hey, the time is over, you've attempted 4 questions and you're on your 5th question. And if you have studied well, oh, brah, you should be able to pass the exam. So that's the strategy. See, the ICAG exam, there is no magic anywhere. This is the magic. The magic is to study. The magic is to be realistic. The magic is to work hard. The magic is to spread the learning over the 12 weeks. That is the magic. But if you sit down 2 weeks to the exam, a week to the exam, and take some miserable leave from your workplace, and think you can fabricate something in 2 weeks, you will fail the exam 99.9% of the time. Because it doesn't work like that. Okay? So there is no shortcut. This is the approach. This is the blueprint. This is the blueprint. Simple. There's no shortcut. Because budgeting is going to be there. And we've gone through this over and over again. Standards are going to be there for financial reporting. Consolidation is going to be there. Financial statement preparation will be there for public sector accounting and finance. So the questions, we know the topics and everything. The thing is, do you understand the principles? Do you know the questions you are supposed to answer and how you are supposed to approach the different questions? And the way you learn those things is by spreading the things over the 12 weeks. So in the exam hall, you are just applying. You don't do anything new in the exam hall. You are applying. You are applying. So this is the magic. The magic is the approach. The magic is learning. The magic is doing the thing over the 12 weeks. And if you want to pass the exam, that is what I would say. So there is no limited question, Nana Apia. Take that idea out. The examiner is not limited because each segment of the syllabus of the subject you are writing, questions are coming from there. Your job is to know what style of questions would the examiner be asking from each of those segments. Then you study. Your job is to know how to approach the questions. How do I work with speed and accuracy? That is your job. And you can only do that if you go over the 12 weeks. Because that is how you work on your critical thinking, practical, and technical capabilities. You can't work on these things a week to the exam hall. No. You will fail. Because critical thinking is not built in 1 week. And this is why, I become a little bit concerned when I see people and they think something can happen. There are some people, they think, you can attend a 6-hour class somewhere, 6-hour class somewhere, and magically that 6-hour class will help you to pass an exam. Like, what are you drinking? I want to know what you are drinking. Something that even 13 weeks, we are not able to exhaustively go through each part, each segment well. You think a 6-hour class or a 12-hour class can magically manufacture something so you're going to pass the exam? It's because people are lazy and you're looking for shortcuts. But there is no shortcut to heaven. There's no shortcut to success. There's no shortcut to anything worth doing. All you must do is work. And that is why I will come to you and I will tell you that spread the thing over 12 weeks. That's why I will tell you, don't wait and take some miserable 1-week leave from your workplace, cause financial loss to the state, financial loss to your company, and have emotional pressure, emotional trauma, fall sick, and go and write the exam and fail the exam and be miserable at the end of the day. Why? You have to work. So that is what I will tell you. There is no magic anywhere. We know exactly how the examiner is going to be setting the questions. We know the topics the examiner is going to be setting the questions on. The question is, do you understand the topics? The question is, can you identify the questions? The question is, do you know how to answer the questions? The question is, can you do speed and accuracy? And all of these comes about in relation to practicing over and over and over again. And since many people are lazy, they don't like it. So that's why people don't like my approach. Because I'm not going to do any magic for you for 6 hours. It won't happen. It won't happen. I won't do that. Because it's not possible. You think this is what? Miracle money? Or some miracle from somewhere? No. You think this is what? Oh, take this pen. When you go to the exam hall, do a little you think we really? It doesn't work that way, my sister. You have to work for it. You have to work for it. So what would I say? There's nothing like limitation of scope. Critical thinking, practicality, technicality, passing the exam is all about work. If you can spread this thing over 12 weeks, and as I've said already, remove all distraction from your life in the next 12 weeks and commit yourself and be realistic enough, I can guarantee you, you'll pass this exam with ease. And you don't need to cut any corners, because you should not cut any corners at the end of the day. And that's what I want you to understand. Okay? That's what I want you to understand. And this is the blueprint to pass the exam. That's why I don't do intervention class. Yeah, because I don't believe I can have a 6-hour class for you for financial reporting for you to go and pass the exam. I don't believe in that. You've not been learning all this while. 6-hour class, then you go and pass. No, I don't believe in that. So I won't do it. Does it mean somebody who is doing it is wrong? No, everybody in their own philosophy. My philosophy is I can't manufacture something like that in 6 hours. I can't do it. Does it mean I'm not a good lecturer? No. I've been doing this over a decade. I understand the structure of the exam. That is why I tell you, you must spread your learning over 12 weeks. That's why I tell you how the examiner is going to be setting questions. And we've gone through some of these things in the previous videos. Because I understand. I am a student of the ICAG examiner. So I know how the examiner is going to behave. That is why I can't come and tell you that I will manufacture something in 6 hours. It's against our philosophy. That's why we don't do intervention. Because I can't do something I don't believe in. Oh yeah, I could make nice money, but it's not the money. It's about what I believe in. So let me tell you this. If you want to pass the exam, you have to work hard. There is no shortcut. There is no way out. You wish you have a way out, but there is no way out. Check our mobile application. We have summary videos on all the topics. If you sit down and you commit yourself, every day you watch one video. Every day you watch one video. Every day you watch one video. You are solving questions. You are doing assignments. We are doing performance evaluation tests. You are consistent. Doing assignments, performance evaluation tests. You are consistent. And you are just being realistic. You are doing just one paper or 2 papers. You will go and pass the exam. But if you wait a week to the exam because you are a busy person and you try to do all magics, then you will fail the exam. It's not because your house people are against you. Because some of you at this point, you are thinking that, oh, your house people are against you. It's not about house people. It's your own laziness. You are the devil of your own life. So please, I wish I can give you a shortcut, but there is none. And I'm expanding the discussion from the question that was asked. We have to be realistic and know that you can't sit down doing nothing and think 6 hours or a 12-hour class somewhere can make you to go past the exam. It doesn't exist. It doesn't. There is nothing like that. You must sit down to study. Check our Executive Revision Masterclass. 4 or 5 sessions for each subject. And even that, there are times I'm not comfortable because I want more. Because there are specific structure of questions that I want to go through with students. That's why we always bring in extra time to make sure we are doing a lot. Why? Because you must understand each aspect of the topics you are learning, because you don't know which one the examiner will bring in the exam hall. You have to be prepared for the examiner. And so what am I saying? What I'm saying is, you got to be serious. You got to work hard. You got to be realistic. You got to spread this thing over 12 weeks. And you're going to commit yourself that I'm going to do this. It will require some sacrifices. It will require some sacrifice. But if you can do that, listen, July you will pass the exam. If you can do that, November you will pass the exam. If you can do that, who knows, by the end of this year you can become a chartered accountant. But if you continue on the trajectory, oh, I am busy, my wife, my children, my work, my this, my that. Oh, 1 week to the exam, I will take leave from work and I will do everything. You will continue to write the exam, wasting money. And if care is not taken, you will give up very soon. And you know the most important thing, if you give up, nobody cares. It's your decision. But you have wasted time. You've wasted money. You've wasted resources. You've wasted emotional trauma, which you could have avoided if you had taken some responsibility and disciplined yourself a little bit extra. Yeah, I'm in your face because I am the only person who can be in your face and tell you that your ego, your behavior, your attitude, everything is causing you to fail the exam. If you want to pass the exam, just change your ego, change your attitude, change your mindset, and you can pass the examination. All right, so let's see. Got some other questions coming up here. What else do I have? Part 2, Ezekiel said, what level will you start from when you have a degree? You have a degree in accounting. You start from level 2 because you'll be exempted from level 1 and 2 papers in level 2. So we'll be left with 4 papers in level 2 to work in. All right. Then you will also, so you write the 4 papers in level 2, then the 4 papers in level 3. All right. So that is it about that. So that's from who? Ezekiel. So you start from level 2. Degree in accounting, you'll start from level 2, and you'll get exemptions. But you have to pay for the exemptions and before you'll be allowed to write the examination or register for the exam. I want the management, accounting, and financial management, Nhyira. Okay, yeah, you can send a message on WhatsApp about that. I think delivery can be arranged for you. Samuel, hello, Nhyira, please. How early do you notify students for their lectures? Our meeting details are sent, I don't know, sometimes an hour before the class or something like that. We don't cancel lectures here, so lectures will definitely come on. So once you know the time, your meeting details will be received before the time. So best case scenario, 1 hour to the lectures. Worst case scenario, 30 minutes to the lectures. But all lectures are not going to be canceled. Hardly. I mean, unless, I don't know, hell is breaking loose before we can cancel lectures. But our main lectures, nothing is going to be crashing it. So everything has been put in place by the grace of God, and we hope so. At least, 30 minutes before class, you will get your meeting details. But best case scenario, you get it like an hour before the exam. All right. Did I say before the exam? Before the class. All right, an hour before the class. And I don't know, it means probably you have registered for our class. So you'll be put into the various Google Classroom groups. Details about that will be communicated to you on Sunday after our orientation session. So whatever be the case, you'll get a meeting details and you'll be able to join the class. Okay? So Samuel, that is the answer to the question. Any other questions for me? Oh, God. I'm getting some notification here that's making me laugh. As in Shiradi Asembeba. I'm not going to bring any Asembia. All right, so I think we're going to be wrapping up around here. Tomorrow I'll be coming your way again with another Q&A session because there are other questions that we're going to be going through, providing you with some guidelines. But as I said, listen, be realistic, okay? Spread this thing over 12 weeks. Discipline yourself. All right? Just discipline yourself a little. You can pass the examination. Stop the excuses because nobody cares about the excuses. Just be a student. And you are a student of the ICAG. So just see yourself as a student. What will you do if you were a student? You would do assignment. You would do performance evaluation tests. Some of you, when your children bring assignment to the house, you help them to do the assignment. And you have extra classes for your children. And you are on them. Study, but you there, you are not studying. Because you think you are omnipotent. You are omnipresent. You are on your children. Study. But you there, you won't study. But you are also a student. So I need you to become realistic of yourself, right? Understand that, yes, you have life, you have school, you have work, there are a lot of things, but do you want to become a chartered accountant? Yes. When do you want to become a chartered accountant? As early as possible. Okay, so if you want to become a chartered accountant as early as possible, then you got to be realistic and put in the work, put in the effort, put in the sacrifices. Listen, I want to help you, all right? I want to assist you. Our community, you're going to be held accountable. We will do assignments, we will do performance evaluation. You will be held accountable. That is what there is. You have to allow yourself to be held accountable. Because if you can discipline yourself, put in the work, put in the effort over the next 12 weeks, listen, you walk into the exam hall in July, that week, and you will write the exam with confidence. Your results will come and you'll pass the examination. But if you do this thing like, oh, lukewarm attitude, it will take you forever. And if care is not taken, you may give up. So thanks for joining us. I'll be coming your way same time tomorrow, 1700 GMT or 5 p.m. Ghana time. And we'll continue with the live Q&A sessions. So if there are any other questions that you have, join me tomorrow, 1700 GMT. And I have some other questions that I've received here that I will also take as well tomorrow as we continue with this discussion. Thanks for watching and thanks for spending your time with me. I'll see you same time tomorrow as we continue. Stay safe and stay blessed. Bye-bye.